Morning to you guys from Sunnyside, Washington. Slept at a gas station like this. Heading to pickup. It's a residential pickup, picking up some medical supplies, and those delivered to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Direct. Ooh, I'm still tired. I don't even show my face yet. But I gotta go. Gotta head to pickup. Got here like 2 a.m. last night, so got maybe, what did I get? Somewhere around 6 hours of sleep, not even that, because I had to get up, put the bed away, get ready. That way I can be there on time, not scrambling, when I get there. Beautiful weather, supposedly, supposed to be. It was actually cold last night. I turned the heater on the lowest setting, and the van, everything was opened up, like in the back. I didn't separate it with curtains, and it got cold. So then I put a blanket on myself, because I laid down in just a t-shirt. Put a blanket on myself, and sometime around morning time got cold again, even with the blanket. So then I had to crank it up just a little bit to like 1.9. And then we were good. Look at this. Springtime. Springtime. Things are starting to bloom. It's a lot warmer over here, actually. It depends when and what, but 8 to 10 degrees warmer here when it's springtime or winter time, or really any time of the year. Summertime, they're usually maybe like 5 or so degrees warmer, but significant when it's just, springtime or fall time or winter. Big difference. All loaded up, strapped in, info sent. Beautiful day in the neighborhood in the end. I'm gonna stop by, grab me some breakfast from, I think, Jack in the Box right there is good. Look at this green grass, man. I look at this and I'm amazed. Some of you might say, well, I've been cutting grass, I don't ever stop. Or I've been cutting it for months now. I haven't been cutting mine yet. It's not even close to being cut yet. Yeah, that's just kind of how it is. Spokane, we're colder, we got more snow, so yeah. And it's only like what, from here, I think 170 or 180 miles away. About 180, I think. Anyway, within a 200-mile range is from here. And that's such a big difference in weather. Where in Spokane you get snow and cold, and here, it's a very mild winter, and it's rare for them to actually have snow. They'll have the cold, but not as cold. So everything is mild on the mild side. In the middle of the state, it's just kind of, like this, more deserty. I don't know. I like where I'm at. I'm just maybe so used to it to where, and this is a smaller town than what ours is. Ours is small, but this is even smaller, so kind of all depends what you're into. Show you guys what the freight looks like. 2 cases, 3 cases, 4 cases, and it's got a dolly right underneath. So all delivers direct, delivers to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is like 35 miles or so. 35, maybe 40 miles from my house. From my house, not just from the town I live in. So that makes it nice. Stop by home, grab the paperwork, and keep going, drop this off, and be done. Technician said that this is his job for the next 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, he's gonna have to go to Boise area and have a job there. So they do plan them out, is what it seems like, which is kind of cool. So never know, I might see this stuff if there's no other vehicles in the area, or we don't have any other drivers in the area. We might be on this in 2 more weeks. We'll see. Might be doing the same thing. Got my breakfast, ultimate breakfast sandwich and a hash brown. Wish me luck so I can eat it all, because usually breakfast, I don't eat breakfast, and when I do, it's super, super, super light, so hopefully I can handle the whole thing. Lots of people still ask. It's like a question that's never gets old for other people. Everybody always wants to know, hey, is this a good time to start? Well, you know, as the market got better, everything else. I tell you guys this, it's a good time to start for people who have the cash laying around, and it would have been laying around. And if you do use it, you can buy the van in cash, you can pay for the insurance in a year in advance in cash, and you still have some cash left over for unforeseen things like a breakdown, you know, other things that might happen on the road, something that'll set you back a week or two. If you have money laying around anyways, savings, that you are willing to invest into this, and it's not going to hurt you, it's not going to put you in debt, then yeah, you can definitely do it. We have some drivers that actually live in the van, like almost full-time living in the van. So if you're one of those that's planning to, you know, be full-time on the road and not have home payments, like, you know, for rent or, you know, mortgage, anything like that, then yeah, it could be for you too, because then a lot of your expense is eliminated, or a lot of your bills are eliminated when it comes to that. But if you're going to be one of those people who's already struggling, but you're a hustler, you want to do this, you want to make money somehow, and then you have to borrow money, you have to go into debt, you got big payments, you have home payments, you know, you have rent or mortgage at home, you're using credit cards. Guys, right now, with the rates and with how slow it is, I mean, if the rates were even 70, 75, maybe 80 cents a mile, if they were between 70 and 80, and you could easily get a load for 70 or 80 cents, like I'm talking about, no problem, then you could still hustle and, you know, put in your time, do some sleepless night driving, all that kind of stuff. You could end up, you know, still being okay. But the other problem is that we have right now is it's not just cheap. It's also a lot slower. So when you put cheap and slow together, that means that when there's an area where the drivers are over concentrated area with more drivers than loads, that causes people to panic, causes people to, you know, agree to insane, absurd rates. I mean, sometimes we see some loads on the boards that are like 50 cents a mile, cross-country driving. After you add up the fuel cost, you know, you do one of those and back, and then you got to change the oil again. So you add that to it, add some maintenance to it, add some food to it, you know, a little bit of wear and tear on the van, and guess what? You hauled that, you know. In the end, if you don't break down, you might think, oh, it's okay, it's just mileage. Oh, it's okay, it's just, you know, $100 in fuel, and I'm, you know, 450 to 500 miles, you know, that gets me 400, 500 miles. I can head home every time, turn around. In one way, yes. In another way, you're still putting mileage on the van that you could have got paid for it. So in the end, any mileage you put on the van, you want to make sure you get paid for it, because the van does wear out. The van does devalue itself. The more miles you put on it, the cheaper it's going to get when you try to resell it or upgrade later on. So all of that has a big play. It has a lot to do with what you can get for it later on. Definitely. It definitely does. So is it for you? Is it not for you? Is it a good time to start? Is it not a good time to start? It all depends. Every situation is different. Every person is different. Every driver is different. Everything is different, If you think you're going to get into this and get rich fast, those days are over. Those days are over. Those days were a few years after COVID we were doing okay. Just a few months after lockdowns happened, maybe 2, 3, close to 4 maybe, 4 months, things just all of a sudden skyrocketed. I mean, people were scared. A lot of people were scared. A lot of people were, they didn't know. They thought it was the end of the world. A lot of people thought, hey, I'm not going to be driving. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to die. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. I'm telling you this, guys, I'm still one of the people that has never got a vaccine. Not a single one of those COVID vaccines. Never had one. Not a single one of them. Even if they didn't let me in the restaurants, which has happened, and I've put a video about that too, where I tried to go have some breakfast and they told me no. Then I went across the street into Jack in the Box and they had no problem. I was too tall for the drive-through, so they called me over, opened the doors for me on a locked restaurant, and I ordered inside, and they even offered me, if I want to eat inside, I could use a table in there, even though they were like completely closed to the public for who knows how long. And this is in Seattle area. This was in Bellevue. So those days are over. People thought it was the end of the world. There was less drivers on the road, and the ones that were on the road at that time, I mean, really, it was so ridiculous that it didn't matter what load you were bidding on. If there was a posted load out there, and there were, when they were posted, you could charge whatever you wanted, and they would pay it. Like, seriously, it wasn't hard at all to book loads. I mean, when we were working, we were done, a lot of times by noon, and everybody was loaded. And in those days, we didn't have many people standing around without a load. Maybe just because they were too tired or they needed something short, and there wasn't that. But usually, 99.9% of the time, everybody had a load. Prices were great. Everybody was making good money. Brokers were making good money. Shippers, they were still getting their stuff to their customers. So the main thing was to keep the customer happy. They could pay whatever they wanted because we got free money from the government. They poured in all that free fake money in the system. So it didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter the cost. As long as you could get it there, that's all it was. And guys, I mean, when I did a few loads on this side, on the west side, during COVID, it was like, it's hard to explain. When you show up to a big city like Portland or Seattle, and normally it's like traffic all the time, and you get there during rush hour, and it's like ghost town. Literally, there's nobody on the road. You and maybe like 1, 2 cars here and there, and you're like looking at it like, what happened, Was there a rapture, Did everybody go to heaven already and you're the only one left? What's going on? So those days are long over. Right now, driver is not in demand like they used to be. It used to be the driver used to be in demand. Nobody wanted to do that job because you were exposed. It was dangerous. You could get sick on the road and might not make it home, and all those stupid things. Use the sanitizer everywhere and all that kind of stuff. hey, I'm for hygiene. I'm for washing hands and all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people didn't want to touch the cash and none of that and all that. I touched cash. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I never got vaccinated. I never wore a mask unless it was going into a hospital. Then they make you put it on. So I was mask free 99.9% of the time throughout the whole COVID thing. And I'm alive. You know, God takes care of his own, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But those days of ridiculous earning money are over. People bought $80,000 vans. At that time, they didn't care. They could get a loan. You know, they were making good money. People thought, hey, it's always going to be that way. It's not. It didn't happen. So when will things get better? We don't know. Right now, it's still oversaturated, the whole market. The economy sucks. So a lot of shippers, a lot of receivers, businesses, some businesses are struggling. They are. You know, it's not what it used to be. It's going downhill. So when will it get better? Who knows? A lot of times before election, things, you know, they like to boost that economy, boost certain things, just, you know, so they can show that, hey, we can do it. But I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to, you know, put the fear in you of not doing it, not going for it, none of that stuff. But I just want you guys to be prepared that if you're putting in your life savings into this, or even more, going into debt, like, you know, putting in your life savings and then still going into debt to go to do this, I want you to be prepared and know that you got to have super patience right now to wait for these loads, because you could be sitting for a day, 2, and maybe 3 sometimes, depending on the location, waiting for a load. And in the end, if you're not busy every single day, if you don't have decent mileage and decent money daily, then in the end, after your van payment, after your insurance, you know, after your food cost, some maintenance, there's not a whole lot left. And the van devaluates itself all the time. It used to be that the used market was going up in price during the COVID. So you know, we went vehicle shopping. We overpaid insane money, but there just wasn't anything out there. It was that whole fakeness about not having this, not having that, when there was tons of vehicles just being parked, you know, in the parking lots and sat there. Now they brought them all out. So anyway, that's another story about everything. This whole thing, guys, it's an individual decision. I can't make that decision for you. I can't, you know, tell you that everything is going to be great, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. You know, if we have peace in the country, even with a bad economy, there will still be money to be made. There will be, not so much, but you got to love the job as well. So right now, if you're trying to get into this and you're one of those people where you're going to be calling and bothering or texting dispatch every 2 hours, hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm still here. Hey, did you forget about me? Hey, how's it going out there? Hey, are there any loads? Hey, what should I do? Hey. No panic. You got to be chill. You got to relax and be prepared to wait. That's just how this is. It's a waiting game right now. Dispatch is working. Don't worry. They want to make money. The company needs to make money. Company needs to book loads. Brokers need to move loads. Customers need to ship loads and receive loads. So all of that is still in good standing. That's all fine. The only thing is the competition is out there. So you have to have either that competitive rate and beat the rate, or be right at it and hope to be in the broker's mercy to give you a load, or us the load, so we can give it to you. Or, you know, you just wait it out until all the cheapies everybody goes, and then, you know, the good loads will come eventually, hopefully, sometime. That's how things work these days, so you guys know. Is it what we wanted? No, of course not. We always want to make great money. We want to, you know, we want to be paid what we're worth, and we're worth a lot because, you know, yes, we do drive all night. You know, we put on a lot of miles. It's our health. It's our, you know, we'll give it all we got every single time, and we want to be rewarded for it. But right now is not the time for that. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, be grateful for what you have, and hopefully things pick back up. So everybody, choose your own decision. What I don't understand is this whole process of pulling over on the left side instead of going right and get off on the big shoulder, correct shoulder. That way it's safer on the right so people can pass you on the left. No, these guys got to create traffic for both sides and make people pull over on the left-hand side. If the driver's dumb, well, at least the policeman can, you know, say it out loud or pull him over and tell him, hey, go to the right. Pull over to the right. I'm behind you. No, but they're just as dumb too as the driver, in my opinion. I don't know if any of you guys are policemen. What do you have to say about that? Why would you let a vehicle pull over on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side? Why? What's the reason? Makes it unsafe, first of all. Second of all, creates traffic for both sides of the freeway, which is stupid. Just for your little traffic infraction, you're going to make the whole freeway stop? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. I guess they just haven't got hit right there before. If somebody hits you with a mirror and you get one of them on your shoulder, you know, or on your side, I guess you'll stop pulling people over like that. Maybe that's the only way to learn. Or something flies out of the vehicle, hits you. Yeah, out of the bed of a truck, something flies out, smacks you, then you'll be pulling over there to the right. Oh, diesel even here keeps climbing up. This is the cheapest place to fill up, and it's already $3.75 end of March. $3.75. Last night I filled up in Spokane for $4.25. This delivery is done as well too. Nice and easy because when I parked right here, and the MRI door is right over there. So everything was super easy. I always try to park like right, you know, it doesn't matter if there's no parking or whatever. Emergency is right behind me, even says emergency over there. So usually the MRI, in some of the, in the areas where I have been and I have gone to, this is including Washington, Oregon, Montana, Utah, California, this area, Wyoming as well. So this west side, that's how it is. I'm not sure how East Coast buildings are made in their MRI departments, but they're really close to the emergency area. I don't know why they build them that way. I guess so it's close, like emergency, hurry up, go to the MRI, that sort of thing. Or imaging is right next door, but just kind of depends what kind of imaging, you know. If you're delivering to like breast cancer imaging, that kind of thing, those kind of clinics, then it could be a little different. Usually if it's those, then it's a really small building, small area, so easy to get in and out of. But for the drivers that do this kind of stuff, you got hospital deliveries, doesn't matter what you're delivering, and you need to go inside and deliver, not to the loading dock, then you are welcome to park anywhere. And these guys understand that, hey, you got a hot delivery. No, it's not going to the dock. I need to, park right here, and you just go. They have valet right behind me. So I stopped by there, and I'm like, hey, imaging is right here, right? Because I've been here before. And they're like, yeah, it's right there. So just go ahead and park right there. I'm like, perfect. That's exactly where I was going to park. And that's it. End of story. So nice and easy. So Easter weekend over here for us. We've got decent weather. Close to 70s this weekend, which is really nice. Loving it. And I think like Monday and Tuesday is over 70 degrees. So we'll be enjoying that this weekend. Really nice. I mean, we've been waiting for this weather, seriously, since last year. I could say since last winter. We had a rough winter last winter, so we got enough snow for now. That's just my take. God bless you guys. Thank you for watching, and especially if you watched to the end. Throw a like and a subscribe if you haven't yet, if you like the channel. And God bless you guys. If you're a driver, be safe, and wish you guys all the blessings you can handle and all the good paying loads that you can haul. Take care. Until next time.